I wish you a pleasant viewing.
How do I, F29, tell my boyfriend, M28, that I do not want to celebrate Christmas together this year? My boyfriend and I have been together for 2 years. We didn't spend our first Christmas together as we were a very new couple. We did spend last Christmas together and it was the worst Christmas I've had in quite a long time. I really don't want to experience that again. For context, my boyfriend and I grew up very differently. I grew up poor and my family is very fractured. I don't even remember the last Christmas we were all together. At least a decade. My parents adopted my brother's children 5 years back. They still aren't well off, so any Christmas gifts are for the kids. I'm fine with that, I don't need gifts. My father's health has been failing, so I just cherish the time I have with the family I still have. My boyfriend grew up in a rich family. College paid for and trust fund rich. They all have good relationships and spend every holiday as one big happy family, not a single person missing. And every holiday season they are showered with gifts and lavish parties by his grandparents. Last year I was wheelchair bound due to an accident, so I kind of went with my boyfriend to what he did since we lived together. I couldn't drive. We received formal invites to several Christmas parties his family held. My name was on them, so I thought I'd be welcomed with open arms. I did get the chance to stop by my parents' house and drop gifts off. It was the best part of my entire Christmas, just spending those couple of hours with them. We ended up spending the night Christmas Eve at his parents'. The married couples got the bedrooms, and since we weren't married we got separate air mattresses in separate living rooms. Not fun with busted legs, but I understood because we aren't married. His mother made a comment that really stung as we all got ready for bed. "I'm so happy all my boys and their wives are here, no offense to you," she said, looking directly at me. It did not sit well with me. The next day we went to his grandparents, and I was in awe seeing so many family members, and they all seemed to be so happy and getting along. My boyfriend had assured me when we got the invite his grandparents would make me feel welcome. I've met them many times, so I thought it wouldn't be too bad. They started opening presents in the basement living room. I couldn't get to it because of my wheelchair. I don't expect 20 or so people to accommodate me though. So my boyfriend carried me downstairs. Grandma came out with a wagon full of gifts. I was sat with my boyfriend and his brothers and their wives. Grandma hands all the wives 5 to 6 gifts. She looked me dead in the eye and said, "Sorry, only wives get presents. Maybe next year if you two are married you might get a present." All the wives had been with their husbands as long as my boyfriend and I. It wasn't about the presents, it was her saying that to my face after inviting me into her home. After I gave up my family time to be there. It felt like a slap in the face. I had to hold back tears watching all the wives open lavish gifts of designer bags, jewelry, blankets. Things I'd never even dreamed of receiving. It stung so deep. My only solace was knowing that my boyfriend and I were going to go home soon and have our own little Christmas, exchanging one gift each. I had pre-made a lasagna to bake and we had a movie picked out. I just wanted to leave and do that. I told my boyfriend I wanted to leave to do our Christmas. He started helping me up the stairs and his family started begging him to stay. He told me he'd call me an Uber and we could open our gifts tomorrow. We got upstairs and the moment it was just the two of us I broke down sobbing. I told him to please come with me, and it was the only thing I was looking forward to. Of course, right as I'm sobbing my eyes out begging my boyfriend to come home too, his dad came upstairs. I felt pathetic sobbing in front of him and his dad. My boyfriend felt awful and apologized profusely. He said he'd come home with me. We went home and exchanged our gifts and ended up both falling asleep from holiday exhaustion. Which brings me to this holiday season. I'm absolutely dreading it. We've already received an invite to the first Christmas gathering of the season. I'm willing to go to his family's parties they throw. But I just cannot find it in me to go to his family's actual Christmas Day gathering. We still aren't married, so I know I'm going to get treated that way again. I can't handle it. Family is extremely important to my boyfriend, and I know he is already expecting me to come through some comments he made. How do I tell him without bashing on his family that I would prefer not to go? I want to spend Christmas Eve with my family, and frankly I'd rather spend Christmas Day alone. I just know he won't take it well. I've avoided many of his family gatherings this year because I just can't even look at his grandma. She's made it clear she doesn't like me, even telling my boyfriend, "Make sure you don't knock her up, you'll be stuck paying child support." As if I'm after his money. I didn't even know how rich his family was until 6-ish months after we started dating. I love my boyfriend's dad and some of his brothers and some of the wives. I don't want him thinking I hate his entire family, but I also don't want to come off as bashing the rest of his family. They are kind enough to invite me to their parties, so I don't want to seem ungrateful. I just can't handle it.